Breaking out of a Mexican prison for women. The 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. Mexico has a long history of harsh prison conditions, with female prisoners facing some of the most deplorable conditions. In fact, Mexico has the worst female prisons and some of the most dangerous and overcrowded in the world, with prisoners often subjected to physical, psychological, and sexual abuse. Unfortunately, the majority of female prisoners have not been convicted of any crime, and are instead awaiting trial, meaning they are often held in these terrible conditions without any form of due process. As these prisons are often filled to capacity and beyond, women are often held in cells designed for much fewer people and lack access to basic amenities like medical care and hygiene products. Inside the walls of a Mexican prison for women. Imprisonment is a harsh and often inhumane punishment that can have severe impacts on the physical and mental health of inmates. This is especially true for women, who often face unique challenges and forms of abuse while serving time in prison. In this video, we will delve into the experiences of women in Mexican prisons, which can shed light on the broader issues of mass incarceration and gender-based violence within the criminal justice system. Conditions in Mexican prisons are notoriously poor, and female inmates are no exception. Overcrowding is a major issue, with many women being forced to sleep on the floor, or in cramped quarters with multiple roommates. Access to basic amenities such as clean water, proper sanitation, and medical care is often limited, leading to health problems and outbreaks of disease. Violence and abuse are also common in Mexican prisons, and women are particularly vulnerable. Sexual assault and harassment are widespread, and many women report being coerced into performing sexual favors in exchange for basic necessities or protection. In some cases, inmates may be forced into prostitution by staff members or other inmates. Women in Mexican prisons also face discrimination and marginalization within the criminal justice system. Many are denied access to legal representation or fair trials, and their rights are frequently violated. This can make it difficult for them to challenge their convictions or seek parole, leading to lengthy sentences and a high rate of recidivism. In addition to the physical and emotional trauma that women in Mexican prisons experience, they are also often separated from their families and communities. This can have devastating consequences, as social support is crucial for the well-being and rehabilitation of inmates. It is important to recognize that the experiences of women in Mexican prisons are not unique, but rather reflect the systemic issues and inequalities present within the criminal justice system as a whole. Improving conditions and protecting the rights of female inmates is crucial not only for their own sake, but also for the sake of justice and a more fair and equitable society. This video will take a look at the troubling conditions of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico and the impact that these prisons have on the lives of the women who are held there. Here is a list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. 1. Women's Rehabilitation Center Durango, Centro de Readaptation Femenil Durango. The Centro de Readaptation Femenil Durango is the first on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. It is located in Durango and was founded in 1921, making it the oldest women's prison in Mexico. The conditions in the prison are notoriously bad, with cells that are often packed beyond capacity and hygiene products that are rarely replaced. There is also a dearth of medical staff, and prisoners often wait many days before receiving any care at all. One of the worst aspects of this prison is that women who are sick are often left in their cells and ignored for days, leading to unnecessary deaths. In fact, many of the women who die in this prison die from treatable illnesses. 2. Women's Social Rehabilitation Center La Joya. The Women's Social Rehabilitation Center La Joya is one of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico, located in Ciudad Juarez. This prison was built in 1988 to hold approximately 350 women, but it has been known to house over 1,000 prisoners at one time. The prison is extremely overcrowded, and the conditions are often filthy and unhygienic. The cells are often so full that women are forced to sleep on the floor, and there is rarely any access to clean water. The food that is served is often rotten and has been reported to contain rats, cockroaches, and even mice. Given these terrible conditions, it is no surprise that many women have died in this prison. 3. Santa Martha Acatitla Female Readaptation Center. Santa Marta Acatitla is the third on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Mexico City and was built in 1994 to hold approximately 360 women. However, as with many other Mexican prisons, overcrowding is a major problem and often leads to poor conditions. In addition to suffering from poor hygiene and food, women in this prison are often subjected to physical and sexual abuse. Unfortunately, many of the women who are held in this prison are simply awaiting trial, meaning that they have been locked up for months or even years without any conviction or sentencing. 4. Female Readaptation Center Tlaxcala. The Female Readaptation Center Tlaxcala is one of the most overcrowded prisons in Mexico, with cells that are designed to hold approximately 60 women, often holding as many as 180. This is the fourth on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico, and it was built in 1977. This prison was designed to rehabilitate women, but it has often fallen short of this goal, with many women suffering from poor hygiene, food, and water quality. Due to the overcrowded conditions, many prisoners have contracted various illnesses, including tuberculosis and hepatitis. In addition, there is often little access to medical care, leading to many unnecessary deaths. 5. Reforma Women's Readaptation Center. The Reforma Women's Readaptation Center is the fifth on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Mexico City, and it was built in 1995 with the capacity to hold over 900 women. However, due to poor planning and increasing rates of female incarceration, Reforma has often housed as many as 2,500 women. The conditions in this prison are abysmal, with cells often overstuffed with women who are forced to sleep on the floor or in shifts. In addition, many prisoners suffer from poor hygiene and water quality, with little access to medical care. 6. Santa Maria Women's Rehabilitation Center. The Santa Maria Women's Rehabilitation Center is the sixth on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Chihuahua and was built in 1981, but it has been expanded multiple times over the years to keep up with the growing population of female prisoners. Unfortunately, the prison has often been over capacity, and the conditions reflect this poor planning. Cells often have as many as 45 women, with many forced to sleep on the floor. In addition, many women suffer from poor hygiene and food, with little access to medical care. 7. Las Margaritas Female Readaptation Center. Las Margaritas is the seventh on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is also located in Chihuahua, and it was built in the 1990s for approximately 350 women. The overcrowding in this prison is often so bad that women are housed in tents outside of the main complex, with women and children forced to live in terrible conditions. In addition to poor living conditions, the food that is served is often rotten, and there is little access to medical care. 8. Morelos Women's Readaptation Center. The Morelos Women's Readaptation Center is the eighth on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Mexico City, and was built in 2002 to hold approximately 500 women. Due to poor planning, however, many of the cells are often overstuffed with as many as 80 women. As with most of the other prisons on this list, overcrowding often leads to poor hygiene, food, and water quality. 9. Female Readaptation Center Yucatan. The Female Readaptation Center Yucatan is the ninth on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Yucatan and was built in 1977 to hold approximately 350 women. The overcrowding in this prison is often so bad that many prisoners are forced to sleep on the floor, and there is rarely any access to clean water. In addition, the food that is served is often rotten, with little access to medical care. 10. Acapulco Women's Readaptation Center. The Acapulco Women's Readaptation Center is the last on this list of the 10 worst female prisons in Mexico. This prison is located in Acapulco and was built in 1976 to hold approximately 300 women. However, due to poor planning and increasing rates of female incarceration, this prison is often overcrowded, with many women forced to sleep on the floor. The conditions in this prison are often so bad that many women are forced to sleep outside. It is important to note that this list is not exhaustive and is only intended to provide a general overview of some of the female prisons in Mexico. Conditions in these facilities may vary, and it is important to recognize that all inmates, regardless of the specific facility they are held in, deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Finally, have you ever wondered why you keep struggling to survive? Isn't it time for you to know your future and control your destiny? What if I told you that you have the ability to attract untold wealth and abundance into your life, and that this ability is lying dormant inside your DNA? Hard to believe? Well, click on the link below for more info.